Hello, I'm Barry Mead. I'm the audience. You're on.
Thank you. To start off, my name is Allison Rooney. You can call me Allie. I'm a huge fan of horror movies, horror in general. I've always loved them, even as a child. I kind of grew up watching Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's a cheesy horror movie. It was released in the late 80s. Although it's not one of my favorites, it's definitely one of my favorite. One of my favorite movies is would definitely have to be Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. It's a newer movie. It was released in 2019. Became one of my favorites for many reasons. I grew up reading a collection of books by Alvin Schwartz. It's kind of like a horror anthology, and it's kind of like a collection of stories for young horror enthusiasts and that type of thing. And it's looked back upon as a nostalgic book for people my age now. And the movie depicted illustrations from the book, like to a T. The illustrations like matched the physical effects, and in a way that I really didn't expect. The movie actually did not rely on CGI. It actually relied on more physical effects. Like, they even hired a contortionist to portray the jangling man who kind of like twists and kind of walks backwards on his hands. It's really cool. But yeah, another one of my favorite movies would probably have to be Midsommar. It's directed by my favorite director, Ari Aster. The cinematography in that movie is amazing. It's kind of portrayed, the movie upon a second viewing is almost it's portrayed as someone who would be under the influence. It's really cool. And at the very start of the movie, it's introduced with as the introduction credits are a traditional mural laying out the whole plot. It's really, really interesting. I'm not going to spoil anything for most of the movies because in case anyone wants to see them or hasn't seen them yet and would like to. Midsommar is one of those movies that is a little harder to understand. The first time you view it, it's easier to understand. The second time you view it, it's a little disturbing, so if you're sensitive to those kinds of things, I'd be a little bit weary, but it's really good. And last and final one of my favorite movies would definitely have to be Hereditary, which is also directed by Ari Aster. The movie is almost like a social commentary on grief, and it almost shows how it can be a catalyst for underlying mental illness. It's really interesting. The whole movie lacks an entire soundtrack, and it creates an eerie atmosphere throughout the whole film. It's really creepy. It's the only movie that's ever scared me. And overall, the movie just kind of it incorporates both the surface level theme, which is a cult type situation, but it also shows the underlying theme. If you look into the details and stuff like that and all the symbols it shows that how deeply grief can affect someone. So those are my favorite movies, and hope you guys enjoyed.